Suppose a particle start to move at time t equals 0 according to the equation this. The particle evidently has no motion in the x and y direction, but moves along the z-axis. The constant z at time 0 and v at time 0 represent the initial values of the position and velocity along the z direction at t equals 0. We also consider this g is to be a constant. Let's calculate the velocity by differentiating with respect to time. So we have fx t still 0, fy t still 0, but fz t, the velocity will be v0 minus gt. The x and y components of velocity are 0 at all times. The z component of velocity start out at t equals 0 being equal to v0. In other words, v0 is the initial condition for velocity. As time progresses, the minus gt term becomes non-zero. Eventually, it will overtake the initial value of the velocity and the particle will be found moving along in the negative z direction. Now let's calculate the acceleration by differentiating with respect to time again. So the acceleration, we have ax t still 0, but the az t equals minus g. The acceleration along the z-axis is constant and negative. If the z-axis were to represent altitude, the particle would accelerate downward in just the way a falling object would. Next, let's consider an oscillating particle that moves back and forth along the x-axis. Because there is no motion in the other two directions, we will ignore them. A simple oscillatory motion uses trigonometric function. So, like this. Where the lowercase Greek letter omega, this one, is a constant. The larger omega, the more rapid the oscillation. This kind of motion is called simple harmonic motion. So the graph is look like this. Let's compute the velocity and acceleration. To do so, we need to differentiate xt with respect to time. Here's the result of the first time derivative. So we have x equal, we have the sign of a product. We can relabel this product as b equal omega t, where vx equal d per dt sine b. Using the chain rule, x equal, first differentiate to b and differentiate b to t, or we have x equal we get the acceleration by similar means. We have ax equal, notice some interesting things. whenever the position x is at its maximum or minimum, the velocity is 0. The opposite is also true. When the position is at x0, the velocity is either a maximum or minimum. We say that position and velocity are 90 degree out of phase. So, we can see this in figure, like if this is the position 1 and minus 1, yeah, so the velocity like this. This is the velocity. The position and acceleration are also related, both being proportional to sine omega t. But notice the minus sign in the acceleration. That minus sign says that whenever x is positive, the acceleration is negative, and vice versa. Whenever x is negative, the acceleration is positive. In other words, wherever the particle is, it is being accelerated back toward the origin. In technical terms, the position and acceleration are 180 degree out of phase. So position and acceleration are 180 degree out of phase. Next, let's consider a particle moving with uniform circular motion about the origin. This means that it is moving in a circle at a constant speed. For this purpose, we can ignore the z-axis and think of a motion in xy plane. To describe it, we must have two functions, xt and yt. To be specific, we will choose the particle to move in the counterclockwise direction. Let the radius of the orbit be r. It is helpful to visualize the motion by projecting it onto the two axes. As the particle revolves around the origin, x oscillates between x minus r and xr. So x The same is true of the y-coordinate, but the two coordinates are 90 degree out of space. When x is maximum, y is 0, and vice versa. The most general counterclockwise uniform circular motion about the origin has the mathematical form like this. Here the parameter omega is called the angular frequency. It is defined as the number of radians that the angle advances in unit time. It also has to do with how long it takes to go on full revolution. The period of motion, the same as we found before, is like this. This is the period of motion. Now, it is easy to calculate the components of velocity and acceleration by taking the differentiation. We have fx vx sin p and vy cos t ax This shows an interesting property of circular motion that Newton used in analyzing the motion of the moon. The acceleration of a circular orbit is parallel to the position vector, but it is oppositely directed. In other words, the acceleration vector points radially inward toward the origin.